Welcome to All Over the Stands, the channel where we explore the world's stadiums, from hidden non-league grounds to massive arenas packed with history and passion. If you love football, baseball, cricket, rugby, American football, or any sport that brings fans together, then you're in the right place here on All Over the Stands. Let's get into this one. This one, we're going to do the ultimate UK stadiums quiz on GeoGuessr. It's 200 of the best rugby, football, cricket, and tennis stadiums from across the UK. So this will be new for me, a little different. We'll also explore them on Wikipedia to learn a little bit more about these stadiums. And we're going to do this as a no time limit moving challenge. The play along link, if you feel like playing along on this GeoGuessr game, will be in the description below or the comment down below. And we're going to get right into it and see where this takes us first. So the first ground that we get is inside the ground. Nice pitch. Rugby is the stadium, rugby ground. And I'm not as familiar with rugby, folks. I did play rugby for a semester in college, but I think this is Scotland just by the colors of the stands. It's not Twickenham, but I think this is Murrayfield, if my recollection on the grounds is right. Yes, Murrayfield Experience. Reserve your official match day hospitality with the Murrayfield Experience. Yeah, I'll leave it up there if anybody wants to go. But yeah, the Six Nations is on TV here in the United States. I do watch it from time to time, but it's not something I'm going to sit down and actually make time for like I would for football. So Murrayfield is in... It's got to be Edinburgh, right? I'm probably going to be wrong on this, or Glasgow. I'm not really sure. And let's go Murrayfield with Edinburgh. Yes, there it is. I don't know why I was thinking Glasgow. I'm not sure, but that's right, because it's near Tynecastle Park. I do post stadiums up over on X on a daily basis, and different content, I guess, over there. And we're doing Tynecastle Park and Hearts of Midlothian, which is right down the street from Murrayfield. So I'm just gonna guess there. Yeah, a little off, but it's kind of what happens when you do these. Well, it's not a photos here, and it's actually, that was Google Street View, so I kind of flubbed that one a little bit. But let's look up Murrayfield Stadium, rugby stadium in Edinburgh, Scotland. Learn a little bit more about this stadium, Rugby Union Stadium, capacity of 67,144. It is the largest stadium in Scotland and the fifth largest in the UK and 22nd largest in Europe. It officially opened in 1925 at the game between Scotland and England, so that's pretty cool. It has hosted American football. Yeah, there was an American football team. We're like the Scottish Claymores or something like that. I'm not sure if they played here. It's like the Europe. If anybody knows that, I would love to hear your comments on American football. It was the European, I forget what it was called, but somebody's got to know. If you do, please comment. Association football, and there we are. So the purchase of land, record attendance was for the Five Nations in 1975, 104,000. It's pretty. Yeah, there it is. The Scottish Claymores, the World League of American Football, and then moved to Hampden Park in Glasgow. And let's take a quick look at some pictures here. If you've been to Murrayfield, I'd love to know your experience there. One of the things that I really want to build on this channel is a community of folks that love stadiums or just love sport in general, and we can all communicate and hear your story about stadiums, the first time you ever went to Murrayfield, or if you went to Murrayfield on an away trip. A Flower of Scotland concerts, Rolling Stones. So there we are, Murrayfield for the first round. Ground number 2 gets another Google Street View, it looks like, but we're inside another rugby ground. Cambridge Road in St. Helens. St. Helens. Where is St. Helens? Ooh, this has got me a little bit here, because I'm not sure where St. Helens is. But a nice looking ground. Look at that terraced. The terraces. It's not really terraced seating, I don't think, is it? Just terraces. It actually looks like, what's interesting is I see this here in rugby. I feel like in football you have to have seats in the whole stadium. I could be wrong on that. I think that's the case. But when I look at like Gaelic football in Ireland, because I've done an Ireland stadiums game on my other channel all over the map, a lot of terraces all over the place there. So anyway, it is Langtree Park. Excuse me. It's St. Helens. Oh, Cheshire. Okay, I know where that is. St. Helens, Rainford. St. Helens up near this area. I guess this, I wouldn't say this is rugby country. I mean, I guess there's St. Helens. St. Helens on the road between Liverpool and Manchester. That little stadium. Is this the totally wicked stadium? It is. It's St. Helens Rugby Football Club. We are looking north, so we're in the north stand, so I think we're probably right about there. And that's exactly where we are. So let's just take a look at St. Helens Rugby Football Club, known as the Saints. Merseyside, okay, founded in 1873, is one of the oldest members of the Rugby Football League. Their home games are at the totally wicked stadium. That's a unique name. Langtree Park, so that's an older Google Street View, capacity of over 18,000. And it's home to Liverpool Football Club women. How about that? A 10-year deal. So there we are. Anything else? Layouts, North Stand, the different stand capacities. And there have been some internationals, a friendly between the English Knights and Ireland. And Tonga's played here a couple of times. So there we are. And The Who. So a couple major concerts at Totally Wicked Stadium for the second round. There we are. Just got to turn around. The Carrick Trust. We got Marine AFC football stadium here in Marine, the Northern Premier League. Marine. I know this had I feel like they had hosted some. I don't know if it was like Tottenham or somebody, Liverpool, but recently, like an FA Cup or anyway, we'll probably find out. The Table Tennis Club, the Bath Street Marine Table Tennis Club. I guess table tennis in that building there. Smithies, Crosby, Marine. The 1894 Bar and Bistro. Everybody's out there chilling, having a pint. But where is Marine? Oh, Crosby. There's Crosby. Maybe it isn't Crosby because I saw Crosby, and I feel like I've been through here before for something, and I can't think of. Maybe it was Marine. I don't know why. This kind of stands out to me. Might not even be here though. All right, so let's see. We've got Smithies, Crosby looking southeast, and Marine Travel Arena. All right, so let's look in the it's looking northwest. So this seems to be about right. Warren Road. Again, I'm not sure why want to go here with this one. All right, I'm not sure. Let's see. Angela's. Post office should help, right? Maybe. This is the College Road. The George Crosby. I think of Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Wait, the College Road. Hold on. There it is, Marine Football Club. So right here, near the 1894 Bar and Bistro. So we go from big grounds going downward. So let's look up Marine AFC, that's right. Marine AFC, Rossett Park in Crosby. So holy moly, we got a small ground here. But I wanted to see, is there an FA Cup? There it is. I knew there was something. I can't believe I remember these things. In 2020, they lost 5-0 to Tottenham. But I felt like they hosted them. Maybe not. Maybe they did. Somebody's got to know about this. But Rossett Park passed the 2,300 and now has 4G artificial turf. So I'm not sure if you can even host the FA Cup with artificial turf. Maybe you can now. I don't know. There it is. They drew Tottenham at home in the FA Cup's third round. Residents of homes, that's what it was, adjoining Rossett Park watched the FA Cup match from the gardens, windows, and trees, and it was broadcast internationally. Maybe I watched it. Maybe that's probably why. I wouldn't say I'm not watching on BBC One, but anyway, pretty cool. Rossett Park there. So we got a small little skipped. Why did this skip? We just get. This is the only thing when I do this GeoGuessr. We're going to get one less round. So we're going to skip around. Everybody's going to get whatever. Let's see. Let's just look up what we were trying to find here on this one. What was this ground? Was this Chester? Probably Chester. But that's the one frustrating thing about GeoGuessr when I do these games is this can happen every once in a while. Just pain in the butt. So for me, because we get one less round, one less stadium. And is it Chester? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here with GeoGuessr. GeoGuessr, come on. All right, we go to another small ground. Peterhead Football Club. And this is why, or it's not why. A couple things. Again, I like to chat, like to talk, especially when it comes to sport. That's why I probably do really well living in England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. I like to just sit around and have a conversation. One of the things that boggles my mind in the United States, I grew up in a time, late 80s, early 1990s, where everything you pretty much went to, there were kid prices. And like this, U12s, to be in the ground or the stand, two pounds. Adults, 14, 16, right? Concessions, whatever. I know I see sometimes over 60s or over 65s, whatever. But for the kids, it should be lower. Unless you're in a high school, maybe some colleges, smaller colleges, sports. There's no distinguishing of prices between adults and kids. You can go to a NFL game. You can go to I'm not so sure about Major League Soccer. There's that word. NBA, NHL. If you've got a seat anywhere in the arena or the stadium, and you bring along your 3 or 4-year-old kid, you're paying full adult price, which just blows my mind. The other thing, I kind of like a little mini rant, because I got to find Peterhead here soon, is I've been seeing on X a lot of fights been going on with the NFL, like the San Francisco 49ers, Denver Broncos this week, and I think the other one is Charlotte. Not Charlotte, what are they called? The Carolina Panthers, NFL football. Just complete all-out brawls. Like The one in San Francisco is pretty brutal in the stands. Same fans, crazy. Usually it's the opposing fans that do this sort of stuff, and I just see that stuff, and there's no what I would call this is pretty cool. This is an old school ground. There's no wait. Peterhead is Peterhead up north? Are we in the northwest once again? I feel like that might be the case as I'm scrolling around. Um, but what's interesting to me is these fights go on, and there's like kids around, and I'm pretty sure for the most part in the UK, football's got family areas. I don't know. Something the NFL is going to have to change because that they'll lose fans fast if you can't be a girl. There you go. I love you, marry me, Peterhead. Um, but yeah, just one of those things where I just kind of like getting turned off. I get turned off of that stuff. I've got kids, got a family, and so I look at things now more towards the kids because that's the next generation is the most important, right? In terms of the love of the sport, the love of the game. I also coach youth football, so kind of the same thing goes into to all of that. But I've seen a lot more fights, and I see it not so much in football, but American football. There's a lot of fights with coaches and stuff. It's a little out of control. But in the United States, you pay a lot of money to play these sports and to go to these games, more probably so than the UK, I would imagine. And people, times getting tough, tight, money makes for not good stuff. Peterhead. We got to be. I feel like we're in the same area. There's Fleetwood. Why have I seen Peterhead somewhere? I see Birkenhead. Uh, Probably Scotland, right? No. Because I see Scotia there. Nova Scotia. And I see Bruce. Yeah, I'm not sure where this is at Baltimore. It's a pretty cool stadium, though. Uh, Make sure I'm crossing off everything on the list here. Um, all right. Hmm. Cato Park Sports Facilities. All right, here's what I'm looking for. A big sign tells us what road. That's all right. A90. Wow, Peterhead. I got thrown off. Peterhead. Okay, so I've actually seen this before. The thing that threw me off about this one was um, when I saw the Ireland. So I'm thinking on the other coast, not using again. One little thing could kind of Really mess you up there, but the Peterhead Football Club, pretty cool, and the Peterhead Rugby Club. So, Ultimate UK Stadium Quiz. Probably got to be updated a little bit here. Maybe I should do one or whatever, but we got 4. And I'm very tight on time, but I'll come back to the Ultimate UK Stadiums because we'll have a round 2 on this one for sure. But let's take a quick look at Peterhead. And Peterhead Football Club. It's a pretty interesting logo. The blue, say the blue tune, is the nickname. Founded in 1891, and they play. The ground is actually Balmore, the Balmore Stadium, capacity of 3,150. Opened in 1997 after the old recreational park ground was sold off to supermarket company Safeway. Wow, we got Safeways in the United States. And the nearest railway to Balmore is Aberdeen, which is 30. Okay, so how about this? This is an interesting fact. 32 miles away. This is the greatest distance between a senior league football ground and its nearest railway station in Great Britain. Kind of sounds like the United States. And there's the stand. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please hit that subscribe button when I get to 1,000 subscribers. So share this with your friends and all football, rugby, cricket, American football, baseball, loving fans and friends. Until next time, cheers.